Alright, so Stray is one of the most loved games to come out in recent years, and I think it has to do with the fact that on the surface it just looks like a cute little cat game. Insert high action, death-defying graphic violence here. So yeah, I had a very different experience with Stray than I expected I would, but the game does still have 25 total trophies including the platinum. Most are gotten from the story and collectibles, but there is a few chapter-specific trophies sprinkled in that made me quite literally want to die inside more than I already have. This is also a part of my challenge to platinum pretty much every single notable single-player game that I haven't already before I hit 100,000 subscribers, because I have no life, so make sure to drop a like and subscribe. The first stage is to beat the game while it's grabbing every single collectible inside, which is very easy because you can just follow a guide. So yeah, take that, pussy. Oh my god! Before the video continues, I want to say a huge thanks to New World Eternum for sponsoring this video. The New World Eternum open beta is now live from September 13 to 16. Download the game now and play all this weekend across Xbox Series X, S, PlayStation 5, and PC. But brace yourself, because just in case you miss it and see this after, don't worry, New World Eternum fully launches on October 15th, 2024. But you might be wondering what New World even is. Well, if you don't know, it's an action RPG with one of the most vibrant worlds and beautiful settings I've ever seen in a game. It features dynamic real-time action combat with swords, guns, and sorcery. The best threesome I've ever seen. You can also play in both PvE and PvP, solo or co-op, so you can literally play the game in any form possible. There is an absolutely massive, beautiful open world with a variety of things to discover and countless different customization for your character. In addition to all of that awesomeness, there's also crossplay, so nobody's gonna be left out. So check out New World Eternum using my link in the description, and thanks once more to New World for sponsoring this video. Anyways, the first chapter of the game opens up with us and all of our cat friends just lounging on the edge of a cliff, as you do. We then just follow the boys around and travel to dangerous areas that cats probably shouldn't be in, until ultimately reaching a pipe that was about to burst. And I must have picked the short straw, because once I jumped for it, the thing collapsed to hell, and now we are officially a stray. Get it? Get it? Anyways, we survived the jump because cats have 9 lives, actual demons. But once we woke up and started moving again, the second chapter began nearly right away in the next room, and I got my first trophy of the game. The second chapter, however, was very bland and didn't really have anything happen inside of it. It actually reminded me a lot of this girl I dated quite a few months ago, just completely empty inside. However, I would go on to reach the first chapter specific trophy of the day right here on chapter 2. And my god, I don't think these developers could have picked a worse and more painful trophy to put so early, even if they tried. Like seriously, words can't even begin to express how absolutely hard this is. But before I continue to complain for the next minute and a half, let me real fast explain what the trophy actually is. Can't catch me. You must complete this entire minute and a half running section down multiple alleyways while a Zerk chase you. Zerk are these little bloops with eyes, by the way, and are one of the more annoying creatures of the game. The best method to avoid them is to zigzag, because once they jump at you, they can't really change direction midair, since that would be silly. However, there is so many instances where zigzagging is either not enough or not even possible. Usually this occurs around staircases because they are very slim and also slanted, making it hard to keep up momentum to begin with. I spent a grand total of, wait for it, seriously, this is gonna blow you harder than the Kim K video. This trophy took me 1 hour and 38 minutes of retries over and over and over before finally getting it. I don't think anything in this world has ever been f***ed so hard than my ass while trying to complete this dumb trophy in a cat game. The entire time I was playing and suffering, I kept on thinking to myself, this controller in my hands is gonna go. I'm gonna destroy it. But then that little angel on my shoulder reminded me that I'm playing a damn cat game. And breaking a controller over a cat game is something that you can't ever recover from. You just can't. So I broke my controller. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's an old photo. Shout out to the OGs who recognize that one. But in all seriousness, this trophy objective is just awful. And it's even more awful because it's inside of a damn relaxing game about cats. You just wouldn't expect that this game of all of them to have something like this in it. I'm also 99% sure that it's luck-based as well, but you know, that might just be my skill issue talking, I'm not gonna lie. However, I did do it finally and got the trophy. I then paused my game to go cry in the corner with a bottle of Chardonnay. Alright, so that was awful, and also the only mildly interesting thing that ever happened in this chapter's entirety. So I kept on playing and eventually reached an actual glimpse of civilization's past, that being an apartment looking place. While inside, I also had to do the first real puzzle of the game that featured me first plugging in 4 different power sockets, which then opened a door nearby, and inside had a little drone that I had to pick up and take over to charge or reactivate, I guess. But once the lad was back flying around, I got another trophy. This drone thing, by the way, would also end up being our main helper and story direction for the rest of the game, mostly because it can communicate with other robots inside of the city, and we cannot because we're a cat. Anyways, next I made it out of the apartment, finally, and then we took a zipline bucket ride all the way down into the slums. Upon our first arrival, not a lot of people were happy to see us. Lame, guys, lame. Ever heard of common courtesy? One of the robots here wasn't a complete jerk, however, and welcomed us in, which gave us a trophy. This next part of the game, by the way, was all inside of Chapter 4, which has the most collectibles out of any other chapter and took me forever to get through. I deadass began to feel like Sisyphus and his rock, just me trying to push past collectibles and never being able to fully do it. But I did do a side trophy here from making a shot with the basketball on this little ramp. Ignore the fact that I totally missed. It's fine, the thing still made its way to the hole. I also did another side trophy here from sticking my head into a paper bag, which made it so I could no longer see, and the controls also got inverted to make it feel like we were actually blind. But yeah, I got a trophy from that. I then hunted down both story items and collectibles for the next 30 minutes of my life, really beginning to question it all, until finally getting another trophy from collectible. No, just from me spamming triangle on this TV right here, swapping all the channels like an absolute Chad, not being able to find a show. The usual TV experience. Oh yeah, and I finally did grab every single sheet note of music, which was a collectible, literally diarrhea farted all around this village. But if you give them all to this lady with a guitar who is also homeless, I think, she will just play the songs one by one. And you have to excruciatingly sit there and listen as the eardrums begin to bleed. It was great. Here's the trophy. Oh yeah, and I also randomly jumped a total of 500 times, which the game has been tracking for me because there's some weird motherfuckers. And there actually wasn't any trophies from that chapter, the next one, or the next one, which is very weird because they all definitely deserve trophies since so much time was spent in them. Anyways, the chapter after the slums one was in the sewers, and shocker, those damn Zerks are down here also. I really wish there was a slur to call those things, like a racial one, because damn I would. And once I completed the sewer chapter, I then popped into my next area, which was like some little treehouse hangout thing, and my dumbass orange cat just came running in and destroyed these two robots playing a game. Such a boss, they should have seen that coming. Also, by the way, this chapter is so short, you literally just show up, talk to one dude, then climb to the top of the treehouse and dip onto the next one, which is chapter 10, I think, in Midtown. Midtown is the biggest area, I believe, in the game, but also the simplest to do if you remember the steps here. However, before any puzzles or story, I got a trophy from nuzzling up to 5 people inside the game. And I also hadn't quite yet actually walked into Midtown, so I guess once I did for real, I got a trophy from that. And a while later on, during this Midtown section, I ended up being behind the scenes, sneaking around trying to steal an important battery. But while here, I also gave this worker some keys he lost in return for a badge, which is also my last badge collectible, and I got yet again another trophy from that. And once you solve all of the puzzles in Midtown, it leads you to the nightclub in search of a woman named Clementine, like the same one from the Walking Dead game, which by the way, a ton of people are asking me to play that now because of the story mode video I just made, and I just want to let you all know that I did months ago. Anyways, right before chapter 10 in Midtown ended, we also ended. Like, we got shot and died. It was tragic. They even had cat pain sounds. Animal cruelty was used in the making of this game for sure. Haha, psych, I was just kidding. We actually just got tased and then thrown in jail. Usually this is a black cat problem, but here we are. Side note, I escaped within 1 minute, so they need to really up the jail program here. I then found Clementine because she was also down here, and then I helped her get out of her cell. She then kind of just takes us around the entirety of chapter 11, just opening doors for us, but eventually we got caught by the guards, and Clementine found this car and was really about to drive away from us and not come back. What a bitch. However, I did grab on, and she then sent us to the final chapter of the game without her because she ain't about this life. And in order to open the final door I needed to in the game, I had to scratch the wires, which was also my last scratching post collectible in the game for another trophy. It was then the final area, and my little robot friend chatted to me for a long time. I couldn't tell you anything he said though because I skipped through it. Time is of the essence. But once he was done yapping to no avail, I received the last memory of the game and reached 100% completion of memories with my final collectible trophy. And the last puzzle of the game then had us basically just turn on some computers, rip open some electrical panels, and hack the roof so it would open, and the city is now allowed to be in the lights and open for all. Our little cat person then made their way outside and just enjoyed the sunlight. Look at that soulless demon right there. Anyways, here's the final story trophy. So now it's time for both stages 2 and 3. I don't really think they should be separated since cleaning up miscellaneous trophies is very easy, and the speedrun trophy is obvious that it needs another playthrough. So the first trophy I went back for was just meowing 100 times. I just loaded up a random chapter and meowed for 5 minutes straight to get this trophy. I then loaded up chapter 2 and found my way back to that chase section, except this time I let them kill me over and over because it was a trophy from dying 9 times, and I got that right here. I then had to replay the Midtown chapter, except this time not getting caught at all. There was only 2 real instances where you could get seen by a drone looking for you, and I was just careless first try because I was rushing and not caring in general if I got seen. I also had to replay the sewer chapter without killing any Zerks because Lord knows I did the first time. Those things don't belong in heaven, and hell will welcome them with open arms. And that was actually my last trophy needed before beginning the speedrun playthrough. This game can easily be beaten in under 2 hours, which is the goal for the trophy. I did have a speedrun guide guide open on the side, however, just in case I got stuck or lost. The only chapter I even used a guide on, however, was chapter 4 because those damn buildings just confused the shit out of me. Anyways, I did it with like 20 or so minutes to spare, so GG baby, here it is. And yes, there is one more trophy to get, but it's nothing that I could have even maybe gotten so far, because this trophy is from sleeping for 1 hour and not in-game time, might I add. Oh no, you have to leave the game running for an hour with the cat sleeping, and I did just that, so here's the trophy pop. That was the stray platinum trophy experience. Overall, I gotta say this game is way more annoying than I thought it would be. When people asked me to play it, and even when I researched it, I only ever saw good things about how fun it was and how laid back it is, which are both very untrue, so I guess in the future it's better to not know anything at all. How nice. Rating it out of 10, I'm gonna give Stray meow out of 10, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, kitten. What the fuck did I just say? What the fuck, dude? Digital footprint goes crazy.